Today on Dayton Youth Radio, we have a story from the David H. Ponitz Career Technology Center about a teenager dealing with life after a tragedy occurs. A note to listeners, this story does discuss suicide.
My name is Deja. I'm the oldest of 5 kids, Ethan, Viviana, Juan Diego, and Tony. I also have 2 dogs, who are both rescues, a big dog named Roger and a smaller dog named Lily. I enjoy drawing and reading and occasionally playing a game of soccer with my siblings. My love for soccer started in kindergarten. My best game ever in soccer is when we were winning 20-0, and our coach had to tell us to stop scoring so the other team wouldn't be scoreless. My mom's brother taught me everything, from the basic skills to special tricks to show off in the game. After my uncle graduated from Ohio State, he moved in with us when I was 14. I was extremely happy when I found out my uncle was moving back. Getting to see him every day would be amazing. Another thing I was looking forward to is different meals every night from him. John would cook anything and everything, especially his signature homemade bread, pizza, and lettuce wraps. I loved when he asked for a taste tester. He'd always yell kids who wants to try something, and whoever shows up first gets the most. He would also come into the basement at random times when my siblings and I were playing around with the soccer ball, and he'd verse himself against all 5 of us, and we'd laugh and giggle, and he'd give us tickle tortures and punishments, and he wouldn't stop until we'd say mercy. On Friday night, my siblings and I were chilling in the kitchen, and I was sitting at the kitchen table, talking with my uncle, but certain things seemed off. He was slurring his words and stumbling over a bit. The night was particularly quiet. Not hearing the usual footsteps was unsettling. I woke up the next day and got ready for soccer practice as I usually would on Saturday mornings. I was excited for practice this day, but I also felt uneasy. After practice, I got pizza, like I'd always do. I got home, something still felt wrong, but I kept ignoring it, and walked into the kitchen. Usually my uncle would come out of his room to meet us after practice, but that day he didn't. I just thought he was sleeping. A few hours later, my grandma came home, looking for my uncle. She knocked on his door, and the 2 dogs we have started barking in his room. He didn't answer the door, so my grandma walked in, and at that moment, our lives changed forever. My sister came running to me and told me my uncle had died. I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. I was so shocked I didn't cry. I just stood at his doorframe and stared at his body. Looking around his room, I saw bottles and pills everywhere. It was suicide. Something I never thought one of my family members was capable of doing. John, I just want you to know I look at life different because of you. I've learned to appreciate the little things more. My love for soccer continues on because of you. I've grown into the young woman you've always wanted and dreamed of me being. I love and miss you. John's death happened 2 years ago, when I was 16. My uncle passing away made me realize I should appreciate life more and tell people I love them more, because life is too short, and it could end any minute, hour, or second. For Dayton Youth Radio at Ponitz Career Technology Center, this is Deja.
That's a story called Lifeline, written by Deja, a senior at Ponitz High School. Special thanks to Joanne Viscup and Jeffrey Crowell. Before we go, Deja felt very strongly that we give out this information.
Risks of suicide are substance use, history of trauma, and loss of relationships. Warning signs are isolation, extreme mood swings, or talking about killing themselves.
To get help for yourself or others, call the Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255. For Dayton Youth Radio, this is Basim Blunt.
Support for Dayton Youth Radio comes from the Virginia W. Kettering Foundation, Ohio Arts Council, and the Vectren Foundation.